The world, as it unfolds before you, is a reflection of the inner landscape you cultivate. You are not separate from the universe around you. You are a single note in the eternal melody of existence, played gently by the hand of time in this space. We do not begin with words to fill the silence. We do not seek to hurry or to claim what is already ours. Instead, we pause, we allow. We become one with the quiet hum of life that vibrates through the very cells of our being. The journey of prosperity is not a race. It is a presence that arises when you, dear listener, step aside from the constant rush of thoughts, from the frenzy of ambition, and allow yourself to become still. In this stillness, you will find what is already meant for you: abundance, success, perceived, not on the surface of things, but in the very foundation of who you are. This, then, is the invitation, not to chase, not to strive, but to rest, in the knowing that the richness of the universe flows as effortlessly as the river's current. Prosperity does not arrive by forcing the door open. It enters when you stand quietly in its presence. The universe, ever vast and unhurried, flows with divine timing, and you, like the tree whose roots reach deep into the earth, will flourish in your time. In your way, you are a vasilla, sacred space that holds the potential of creation itself. The process of unlocking your prosperity begins not with outward action, but with an inner shift, a shift from doing to being, from the constant noise to the quiet pulse of existence, from the need to acquire to the trust that everything you need is already within you, waiting to be revealed. When we speak of prosperity, we do not speak of riches amassed through forceful ambition or ceaseless striving. We speak of the quiet kind of wealth of the spirit, the wealth that comes from living in alignment with your deepest truths. Prosperity is the natural outcome of inner peace, of disciplined intention, of trust in the sacred timing of the universe. When you align yourself with this flow, when you learn to listen deeply and reflect with clarity, you will come to understand that prosperity is not something you attain, but something you allow to unfold in perfect harmony with your soul's purpose. Imagine, for a moment, a garden in which the flowers bloom not because they are pushed to grow, but because the soil is rich, the water is pure, and the sunlight is constant. So too is your life. You are not required to force your success. Rather, you must create the conditions for it to naturally arise. The soil of your heart must be tended with care through the quiet rituals of daily reflection, through the discipline of inward silence, and through the trust that your desires, like seeds, will come to fruition when the time is right. There are no shortcuts here. There is no rush. The prosperity that you seek is not something outside of you, but something you bring into being through your alignment with the deeper truths of the universe. It is a sacred unfolding, a divine rhythm, that you tune into through focused presence and calm clarity. When you embrace the stillness, when you return to the quiet, the universe will whisper to you the steps you need to take. This is not a journey of external action. It is a journey of internal becoming. Each step forward in this journey will come from a place of deep self-reflection and spiritual discipline. It will be marked by moments of silence where the world falls away and you hear the quiet voice of your soul. It is in these moments of sacred silence that your true path will be revealed to you, and in these moments, you will find that everything you need has been present within you all along. Now, dear one, let go of the need to understand all at once. Release the mind that seeks to analyze and control. Instead, rest in the quiet, the sacred silence, where answers are not given by force, but by gentle unfolding. Trust that each word you hear will carry you closer to the clarity you seek. Trust that the journey will reveal itself, not in grand gestures, but in the soft whispers of your inner knowing. There is no hurry in this sacred path. There is only the invitation to listen deeply, to reflect with clarity, and to allow the quiet unfolding of prosperity within you. As you take this first step, remember that you are not striving for something distant. You are simply aligning yourself with what is already yours, the abundant flow of the universe, waiting to flow through you. In silence, there is wisdom. In stillness, there is clarity. In patience, there is growth. Prosperity comes not from pushing or forcing, but from cultivating a space where it can naturally unfold. You are ready now, dear one, ready to step into the flow, to embrace the sacred silence, and to allow your life to unfold with grace and ease. You are not alone on this path. The universe, the divine rhythm of creation, walks beside you, guiding you gently toward your destiny. Now, let us begin. Chapter 1. The silence within the world speaks in many voices. It calls to you through the chatter of daily life, the demands of society, and the endless distractions that constantly seek your attention. But there is a silence that exists beyond. These voices are silence that is deeper than the absence of sound. It is a silence that holds wisdom, a silence that invites you to listen, not with your ears, but with your soul. True prosperity begins in this silence. It is not born from the clamor of action, nor from the haste of striving. It arises when you turn inward, when you quiet the noise, and allow your inner being to unfold like a lotus in the stillness. The world may be loud, but within you, there is a space of peace, a sanctuary where clarity and purpose emerge effortlessly in this silence. You reconnect with the deepest parts of yourself. You begin to hear the voice of your true essence, the part of you that is aligned with the divine rhythm of the universe. This voice speaks softly, gently, and without force. It does not shout for attention or demand action. It simply invites you to be still, to be present. And in this stillness, something profound happens. You begin to see clearly. The fog of confusion and distraction lifts, and what once seemed distant or unattainable becomes illuminated. Prosperity, in all its forms, be it wealth, success, peace, or fulfillment, starts to take root in this sacred space. It is not a destination to be reached, but a state of being to be embraced. This is the foundation of focused prosperity. Understanding that true abundance is not about accumulating more. It is about cultivating a deeper relationship with your inner world, where silence and stillness serve as the fertile ground for everything you desire. Prosperity flows not from external hustle, but from an inner alignment with the quiet pulse of life. You may wonder, how can silence lead to success? It is in the stillness that you hear your soul's calling. It is here that you come to understand what truly matters. Without the constant noise of the outside world, you can clearly hear the whispers of your deepest desires, and more importantly, the steps that need to be taken to bring them into fruition. Yet this does not mean sitting idle, waiting for something to happen. Silence does not equate to passivity. It is an active state of being, where you cultivate awareness and presence. It is in the moments of deep quiet that you find the strength to take inspired action. Prosperity is not born from aimless effort, but from focused, intentional action rooted in clarity. The noise of the world will always be there, but you can choose where to place your attention. In each moment, you have the power to turn inward, to listen to the quiet whispers of your soul, and to act in alignment with your higher purpose. The more you practice this inward listening, the more your actions will be aligned with your deepest truth, and the more you will attract the prosperity that resonates with your soul's true desires. Consider the image of a still pond. When the water is calm, you can see its depths clearly. The reflections of the trees, the sky, and the earth are crisp and defined. But when the water is stirred, when the surface is disturbed, everything becomes muddied. The deeper wisdom beneath the surface is obscured. So too is your inner world. When you allow the surface of your mind to be stirred by the constant noise and distraction, clarity becomes elusive. But when you quiet the waters of your mind, you can see clearly, and in that clarity, prosperity begins to unfold naturally. To cultivate this silence, you must make a conscious choice. You must set aside time each day to sit in stillness, to be with yourself. This is not a task to be checked off a list, but a sacred practice that deepens your connection to your own wisdom. It is in this space of quiet that you begin to understand what you need to do, who you need to become, and what must be released in order to make room for the abundance that is already yours. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation. The silence within is not an absence of movement, but a space where true movement begins. It is the fertile ground where seeds of intention are planted and nurtured. When you give yourself permission to be still, you invite the universe to align with your desires, and in that alignment, prosperity flows naturally, without struggle or force. In the stillness, you come to understand that everything is connected. Your thoughts, your emotions, your actions all are intricately woven into the fabric of the universe. The more you align yourself with this flow, the more you will begin to see how everything in your life, your relationships, your work, your health can shift to reflect your inner alignment with prosperity. True success is not about achieving something outside of yourself. It is about becoming aligned with the quiet truth that lies within. It is about trusting the process of inner growth, knowing that, in time, the external world will reflect the inner peace and prosperity you have cultivated. You do not need to chase success. You need only to sit in the stillness, listen, and allow. The universe will guide you, step by step, on your path. The more you trust in this process, the more you will see that everything you need, every resource, every opportunity, every moment of grace will find its way to you. In the silence, you become the creator of your own prosperity. You become the master of your destiny, and you learn that true success is not a distant dream, but a present reality that unfolds through your intentional, focused actions. So, I invite you, dear listener, to embrace the silence within. Let it be the space where you reconnect with your true essence. Let it be the foundation from which your prosperity grows. The world will continue its noise, but in the quiet of your being, you will find the wisdom, the clarity, and the strength to manifest the life you are meant to live. Asterisk. Chapter 2. The power of discipline in the silencing, the stillness of the world. Discipline is not a force that drives you with harsh commands. It is a gentle whisper, an invitation to return to the rhythm of your truest self. Discipline, when born from silence, is not about rigidity or control, but about creating space for the sacred to unfold naturally. Imagine a gardener tending to a garden in the early morning. The air is crisp, the world around them is still. The gardener does not rush. There is no urgency, no need to control the earth. The gardener simply tends to each plant with patience, love, and care. Each action, though small, contributes to the flourishing of the garden. So too is the discipline that arises from silence. It is not an external demand. It is an internal calling. It is the quiet, deliberate choice to act with intention, to nourish what is growing within you, and to trust in the process of growth itself. Discipline is the steady hand that shapes the fruit of your labor, yet it is always guided by the flow of the deeper wisdom you find in stillness. You may have learned, in the world's noise, that discipline is something you must force upon yourself, that it is a punishment, a constraint, a task to be checked off. But true, disciplined, rooted in the silent space of your being's not a burden. It is a gift. It is the sacred art of showing up, day after day, in full awareness and presence. To nurture the seeds of your soul's deepest desires, in the stillness, discipline becomes a practice of deep devotion. It is no longer something you do simply to meet an external goal. It is something you do because it aligns you with the divine rhythm of the universe. When your actions are rooted in this inner silence, they carry with them a power that cannot be measured by outward success alone. It is the power of alignment, the power of focused intention. Think of a river that carves its way through the earth. Over time, it cuts through mountains, shapes valleys, and transforms the landscape. It does not rush. It does not force its path. It simply moves with quiet persistence, following the path that is naturally aligned with its course. In the same way, your disciplined actions, rooted in silence, will carve out your prosperity, not through forceful striving, but through a steady, patient flow of intention. Each small action you take, each moment of discipline, each choice, made with quiet awareness, becomes a step toward the manifestation of your desires. These actions do not need to be grand, for it is the cumulative effect of your daily, intentional choices that creates lasting change. Just as the gardener does not plant a single seed and expect an immediate harvest, you too must nurture your intentions with consistency, trust, and patience. The discipline you cultivate in silence is a powerful force because it is unencumbered by the weight of external expectations. It is not a discipline designed to meet the approval of others, nor one rooted in competition or comparison. It is a discipline that arises from within, from a place of inner clarity and alignment. When you act from this space, you are not merely working toward a goal. You are living in harmony with the universe, moving in rhythm with the flow of creation. Yet, discipline does not require you to sacrifice joy, freedom, or creativity. It invites you to bring your full presence into each moment, to engage with the world from a place of deep connection, and to align your actions with the higher purpose of your soul. In this space, discipline becomes an act of love. It becomes the gentle holding of space for your dreams to take root and grow, nourished by your consistent, focused attention. True prosperity is not something you achieve in a moment of grand effort. It is the slow, steady unfolding of a process that is aligned with your soul's deepest truths. The discipline you cultivate in silence through stillness, reflection, and consistent action creates the conditions for prosperity to naturally arise. It is the steady current that guides the river of your life toward its most abundant and fruitful course. When you begin to practice discipline from this place of inner silence, you will find that everything aligns more effortlessly. You will no longer feel the weight of external pressures to hurry or strive. Instead, you will feel a quiet confidence in each step you take, knowing that your actions, rooted in inner peace, are moving you toward your highest good. The more you cultivate discipline in silence, the more you will come to understand that true prosperity does not require hustle. It requires presence. It requires alignment. And most importantly, it requires trust. The trust that when you show up with focused, intentional action, everything you need will unfold in its own time. In this silence, you will also find a new sense of freedom. Freedom from the need to rush. Freedom from the burden of external expectations. And freedom to move forward with clarity, knowing that every step you take is guided by the wisdom of the universe. Now, dear one, take a moment to reflect. In your daily life, where can you bring more discipline, rooted in silence? Where can you allow yourself to show up with full presence, knowing that each action, no matter how small, is contributing to the unfolding of your prosperity? Do not rush to answer this question. Simply sit with it in stillness. Trust that the answers will come when the time is right, and when they do, you will take them gently, with grace, and with the quiet assurance that your discipline is the most sacred offering you can make to the prosperity that is already on its way. Chapter 3: The Sacred Art of Patience. Patience is not merely the act of waiting, it is the quiet mastery of the self during the waiting. It is not about enduring the passage of time with frustration or longing, but about becoming one with the natural rhythm of the universe, trusting that everything unfolds in its perfect moment. In this sacred art of patience, you discover that true prosperity does not rush to you. It arrives when you have created the space for it to enter your life. With grace, consider, for a moment, the image of a tree. It does not hurry to grow, nor does it resist the seasons of change. It simply stands, rooted in the earth, trusting that its growth will unfold in the time meant for it. Its roots go deep, its branches stretch toward the heavens, and in each passing season, it becomes more fully itself. The tree does not question the passage of time, it simply is. So too must you learn to trust the flow of time, not as something to be conquered, but as something to be embraced. In your pursuit of prosperity, you will encounter moments of waiting times when your desires have not yet materialized in the physical world, when the seeds you have planted have not yet sprouted. It is in these moments that patience becomes not just a virtue, but a sacred practice. In the silence of waiting, there is an invitation to trust. Trust that the universe is always working behind the scenes, aligning everything in perfect harmony with your soul's purpose. Patience teaches you that the external world is simply a reflection of your inner state. When you remain calm, present, and unwavering in your trust, the world around you begins to shift, aligning itself with your inner peace. But patience is not about passivity. It does not ask you to sit idly by, hoping that things will simply change on their own. True patience is an active state of being, one that requires you to remain engaged with your life and with your goals. It asks that you continue to take inspired action, but without attachment to the outcome. It is the knowing that you have planted the seeds, you have set your intentions, and now you must trust that the universe will nurture them in its own time. In this sacred art of patience, there is also an understanding of divine timing. We live in a world that often urges us to rush, to act quickly, to seize every moment. But true success and prosperity are not found in the rush. They are found in the moments of stillness, where you allow the universe to work its magic, trusting that the right opportunities will appear at the right time. Divine timing is the quiet knowing that what you seek is already on its way to you. Even if you cannot see it yet, each season has its time. Just as the winter is followed by spring, the stillness of winter is necessary for the bursting of new life. It is the same with your desires. There will be times when it seems like nothing is happening. But during these times, your growth is happening beneath the surface, just as a seed is growing roots beneath the earth before it ever breaks through the soil. You cannot rush the process. The soil is working, the sun is shining, the rain is falling, everything is in motion, even when you cannot see it. Trust in this process. Trust that you are always growing, even when it feels like you are standing still. The universe is constantly rearranging itself to bring you closer to your desires. Every moment of patience is a moment in which the universe is preparing to bring you exactly what you need. Prosperity is not something that can be rushed. It must unfold in its own time. And when it does, it will come with the fullness and grace that only divine timing can offer. As you practice patience, you will find that your relationship with time itself begins to shift. No longer do you feel rushed or anxious about what has not yet come. Instead, you learn to exist in the present moment, fully engaged with the here and now, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. When you live in the present moment, free of worry about the past or future, you align yourself with the natural flow of the universe, and in doing so, you allow your prosperity to flow effortlessly into your life. Patience also invites you to release attachment to outcomes. In the act of waiting, there is an invitation to let go of control. The ego often desires to dictate the way things should unfold. But true prosperity comes when you surrender to the process, when you trust that the universe knows what is best for you. When you release the need for control, you open the door for miracles to enter your life. This does not mean that you become passive in your life. On the contrary, you are still required to take inspired action. However, the difference lies in your approach. Instead of forcing things to happen, you act from a place of deep knowing that the right opportunities will come at the right time. You no longer rush or scramble, but you move with grace, trusting that the universe is always guiding you. In every moment, you are being led. You are being guided toward the experiences, people, and opportunities that will bring you closer to your desires. But this guidance can only be felt when you are quiet enough to listen. It is the quiet space between your thoughts, the space where you can hear the whisper of your intuition, that shows you the next step to take. As you cultivate the art of patience, you begin to see that waiting is not a burden. It is an essential part of the process, a part of the sacred unfolding of your life. In the silence of waiting, you grow. You learn to trust. You learn to let go of control. You learn that everything happens in its perfect time, and in that time, you will be ready. So, when you find yourself in a moment of waiting, do not resist. Do not rush. Simply be present with what is. Trust in the process. Trust in your own growth. Trust in the universe that is constantly working to bring your desires into reality. And know that when the time is right, your prosperity will arrive, not in a moment of struggle, but in a moment of grace. Chapter 4. Alignment with divine timing. There is a rhythm to life, a cosmic pulse that beats in time with the universe. This rhythm, though unseen, shapes everything: the rise and fall of the tides, the change of seasons, the blooming of flowers, and the unfolding of our very lives. When you align yourself with this divine timing, when you learn to flow with the rhythm of the universe, prosperity comes to you effortlessly. It is not the rush of ambition that brings success. It is not the frenzy of chasing or striving. True success comes when you are in alignment with the divine timing of life. When you move in harmony with the universe, you become an instrument of its flow, and all that you desire begins to flow toward you. Imagine a river flowing gently through the earth. It does not hurry, it does not struggle. It simply follows the path laid out for it by the land. The river trusts in its course, knowing that the obstacles in its path will be overcome with grace, and that the waters will find their way to the sea in their perfect time. The river does not question the path, simply flows. So too must you trust in the divine flow of your own life. The universe has already set the path for you, a path that is perfectly designed for your growth, your success, and your prosperity. The key is to trust that this path is unfolding in the right time and in the right way. When you align yourself with this flow, you move with grace and ease, and your desires unfold in perfect harmony. Divine timing is a sacred force. It is the understanding that everything in life happens at exactly the right moment. Your life is not a series of random events, but a divine orchestration. Each experience, each moment, is perfectly timed to bring you closer to your goals, even if you cannot see it at the moment. Trust that what is meant for you will come at the exact right time, but divine timing requires patience. It asks you to release the need to force things to happen and to trust that the universe is always guiding you. In moments of waiting, when things seem stagnant or delayed, remember that the universe is working behind the scenes, aligning people, events, and opportunities in ways that you cannot yet see. Trust that the timing is always perfect, even when it feels as though things are not moving fast enough. Divine timing also teaches you to act when the moment is right. It is not about passivity or waiting indefinitely for something to happen. It is about being present, aware, and ready to act when the universe presents the right opportunity. When you are in alignment with divine timing, you will know when to move forward, when to take action, and when to simply wait in stillness. The key is in listening to the subtle guidance that comes through silence and intuition. To align with divine timing, you must first release the fear of missing out. The ego often tells you that you must rush, that you must seize every opportunity before it passes. But the truth is, what is meant for you will never pass you by. There is no need to chase after life or to fear that you are falling behind. The universe has already set the stage for you. All you need to do is trust, wait, and act in the moments that are divinely aligned. When you let go of the need for control, when you release the fear of missing out, you open yourself to receive everything that is meant for you. Divine timing works best when you surrender to it, when you stop trying to force the outcome and instead trust that life is unfolding perfectly. Every moment of your life has led you to this point. The experiences, the people, the challenges have all been part of the divine plan. Each step you take, each decision you make, is part of the greater unfolding. Even when things don't make sense, even when you don't understand why certain events happen, trust that they are all part of the divine timing that is guiding you toward your true purpose. In this sacred alignment, there is no need to rush. There is no need to force anything to happen. Life will unfold in its own time, and all you need to do is remain open, present, and aligned with the flow. When you are in harmony with divine timing, you will find that everything you desire comes to you effortlessly. Opportunities appear when you are ready for them. People come into your life at the perfect moment. The right circumstances unfold without you needing to manipulate or control them. Divine timing also requires trust in the unknown. The mind often wants to know what is coming next, to predict and plan for the future. But the beauty of divine timing lies in its mystery. You are not meant to know all the details ahead of time. You are simply meant to trust the path that is unfolding and take each step with faith. When you trust in divine timing, You stop seeking external validation. You stop worrying about what others think or how your success compares to others. You release the need to rush toward a goal, and instead you allow yourself to rest in the knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Remember, the river does not struggle to reach the sea. It flows effortlessly, trusting that it will get there in its perfect time. You too are on a journey, a sacred journey guided by the wisdom of the universe. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, and that everything is unfolding in divine timing. As you move forward, practice aligning yourself with the natural flow of life. Let go of the need to force or control. Trust the process, trust the timing, and above all, trust yourself. You are being guided every step of the way. When you align with divine timing, you move with grace, and your prosperity will flow to you effortlessly. Chapter 5. Cultivating inner clarity in the quiet corners of your soul. Where the world's noise fades into the distance, there exists a space of perfect clarity. This clarity is not something that can be attained through external pursuits or distractions. It is something that must be nurtured within, through stillness and reflection. True prosperity is born from the seeds of clarity, and it is only through cultivating inner clarity that you can begin to navigate the path toward the abundance you seek. The mind, like a turbulent river, is often clouded with thoughts, worries, and distractions. It is constantly moving, racing from one thought to the next, and in this constant motion, it becomes difficult to see clearly. But when you still the waters of your mind, when you allow the currents to settle, the surface becomes calm, and you can see to the depths of your being. This clarity is where your true power lies. Clarity is the ability to see things as they are, without distortion or confusion. It is the ability to hear the quiet whispers of your soul, to understand your desires, your needs, and your purpose with unwavering certainty. It is the space where doubt and uncertainty no longer have a hold on you. In this space, you can make decisions with confidence, knowing that you are guided by your deepest truth. However, this clarity does not come by force. It is not something you can simply will into existence. It is a result of consistent practice, of creating moments of stillness and silence where your mind can rest. Just as the sky is clouded by the tumultuous winds of the storm, so too is your mind clouded by the constant barrage of thoughts. When you allow yourself to be still, when you cease striving, the clouds of confusion begin to part, and the light of clarity shines through. To cultivate inner clarity, you must first learn the art of quieting the mind. This does not mean eliminating all thoughts, but rather learning to observe them without attachment. When you stop reacting to every thought, when you stop chasing after every idea, you create space for clarity to emerge. The more you practice this stillness, the more easily clarity will flow to you. It is through this peaceful observation of the mind that you begin to see the truth of your desires and the path you are meant to walk. One of the most powerful ways to create this space for clarity is through meditation. Meditation is not a tool to control the mind, but a practice to quiet it. It is the act of sitting in stillness and allowing your mind to settle like dust falling to the ground. In these moments of stillness, you are able to connect with the deeper wisdom within you. Your thoughts no longer dictate your actions, and you begin to see through the noise of the world to the core of your being. When you cultivate clarity, you begin to trust yourself more deeply. You stop second-guessing your decisions. You no longer need to look to others for validation, for you know that the answers you seek are already within you. You trust the quiet voice of your soul, which speaks to you through your intuition, your feelings, and your reflections. This clarity becomes your guide, leading you toward the choices that align with your true purpose. But clarity also requires patience. It does not arrive in an instant. It is something that develops over time through consistent practice and dedication. Like the growing of a tree, clarity requires patience. You must nurture it with your attention, your stillness, and your willingness to listen. As the roots of a tree grow deep, so too does the clarity within you grow stronger with every moment of stillness. Clarity also requires the ability to let go of distractions. The mind often clings to the past or worries about the future, but true clarity is found in the present moment. It is when you are fully present, fully engaged with the here and now, that you can see clearly. The more you let go of the distractions of your mind, the more easily clarity will flow to you. Once you have cultivated clarity within, it becomes a guiding force in your life. Your decisions are no longer driven by fear, doubt, or confusion. Instead, they are guided by your inner truth, by the calm knowing that comes from a clear mind. This clarity allows you to act with confidence, for you know that your actions are in alignment with your true self as you move through life. You will encounter moments of doubt and uncertainty. This is natural. The key is not to avoid these moments, but to return to the space of clarity within you. In these moments, you can sit in stillness, quiet the mind, and allow the clarity of your soul to guide you. This practice of returning to clarity is an ongoing journey, a journey that deepens with each passing day. The more you align yourself with your inner clarity, the more effortlessly prosperity will flow into your life. You will begin to attract opportunities, people, and circumstances that align with your desires. Your clarity will act as a beacon, guiding you to the right paths and decisions. It will bring the stillness and peace you seek, and it will be the foundation upon which your prosperity grows. In this space of clarity, there is no need to force or struggle. You no longer need to chase after what is already yours. Everything you need is waiting for you, and clarity is the key that unlocks the door to your abundance. Trust in the process, trust in your inner clarity, and know that the universe is always guiding you toward the fulfillment of your highest purpose. Chapter 6. The Law of Silent Abundance. In the quiet moments, where the world fades away and only the stillness remains, there exists a sacred truth. Abundance is not something you need to chase. It is already yours, waiting to be recognized, received, and embraced. The law of silent abundance teaches us that prosperity arises not from the frantic pursuit of wealth, success, or possessions, but from aligning with the quiet flow of life that is always abundant, always present. Consider the moon, gently illuminating the night sky. It does not shine by force. It simply reflects the light of the sun. It does not strive to be seen, nor does it compete with the stars for attention. Its light is constant, radiant, and effortless. So too is the abundance that flows into your life when you align with the natural rhythms of the universe. It does not require forceful effort or the hustle that the world so often glorifies. It is a quiet, steady presence that fills the spaces of your life when you allow it to. The law of silent abundance is the understanding that true prosperity is born in stillness and patience, not in the noise of external ambition. It is the realization that you are not separate from the universe's abundance. You are a part of it. Your very essence is imbued with the energy of prosperity, and when you align with this energy, everything you need flows toward you. Abundance, in this sacred law, is not limited to material wealth. It encompasses all aspects of life: love, health, peace, joy, and fulfillment. When you cultivate the conditions for abundance through stillness, patience, and alignment with your higher self, you create the space for all forms of prosperity to enter your life. It is not just about what you have, but about who you become in the process of receiving. To tap into the law of silent abundance, you must first release the belief that abundance is something to be earned through hard labor or intense striving. This belief comes from a place of fear and scarcity, a mindset that tells you that there is not enough to go around. But in the silence, you begin to realize that the universe is limitless, and so too is the abundance that is available to you. You are not separate from the vastness of life, but an integral part of it. When you align with this truth, abundance flows effortlessly. This law requires that you let go of the need to control or force outcomes. It invites you to trust that the universe is always providing for you, even when things do not appear as you expect them to. The most profound prosperity often arises when you let go of the desire to control the details and allow life to unfold in its own time. By embracing stillness and surrender, you create the conditions for abundance to naturally manifest. The law of silent abundance also calls you to deepen your trust in the unseen forces that guide your life. Just as a plant grows without you needing to see the roots beneath the soil, so too does your prosperity grow beneath the surface, in ways that are often invisible to the eye. The universe is always at work, aligning everything in perfect harmony, even when you cannot see it. It is in the moments of quiet faith and surrender that the true magic of prosperity unfolds. As you align with this law, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your life. You will feel more at peace, more connected to your true self, and more in tune with the flow of abundance. Opportunities will arise naturally, without effort or force. People will enter your life who support and nourish your growth, and you will find that what once seemed difficult to attain now comes effortlessly, as if the universe itself is conspiring in your favor. However, the key to experiencing this abundance is to remain in the quiet, trusting space of surrender. Do not rush to claim your desires, but instead allow them to unfold naturally in divine timing. The more you align with the flow of the universe, the more effortlessly prosperity will flow to you. This is not a passive act, but an active choice to let go of the struggle and trust in the infinite abundance that is always available to you. The law of silent abundance is also the practice of cultivating gratitude for what you already have. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to greater abundance. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you begin to see that you are already rich in so many ways, rich in love, health, wisdom, and peace. As you give thanks for these blessings, more blessings are naturally drawn to you. Gratitude aligns you with the energy of abundance and opens the flow for even more to come into your life. To embrace the law of silent abundance, you must first stop looking outside of yourself for validation or fulfillment. Prosperity begins within, and when you tap into the abundant energy of your inner world, the external world begins to reflect that abundance. It is through cultivating inner peace, clarity, and trust that you allow the universe to mirror your inner abundance. So, dear listener, remember that you do not need to chase after what is already yours. Abundance is not a destination to be reached, but a state of being to be embraced. The more you align with the quiet flow of life, the more naturally prosperity will enter your life. In silence, in surrender, and in trust, you will find that everything you seek is already on its way to you in divine timing. Let go of the struggle. Release the need to force outcomes. Allow the universe to provide, knowing that you are always in perfect alignment with its infinite abundance. And in this sacred space of silent trust, you will find that prosperity flows to you effortlessly. Chapter 7. The Practice of Self-Reflection. The quiet moments of self-reflection. You discover the deepest truths of your being. It is in these moments of stillness that you can hear the gentle whispers of your soul, guiding you toward clarity, understanding, and growth. Self-reflection is the sacred act of looking inward, of turning your gaze away from the distractions of the external world, and embracing the wisdom that resides within. Much like a mirror reflects your outer appearance, self-reflection reflects your inner world. It allows you to see clearly the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that shape your life. Through this practice, you begin to understand the patterns that have held you back, the desires that have yet to be realized, and the hidden wisdom that is waiting to be unlocked. It is a sacred space where growth occurs. When you pause, look inward, and connect with your true essence. Self-reflection is not about judgment or criticism. It is not an opportunity to berate yourself for past mistakes or missed opportunities. Rather, it is an invitation to look upon yourself with compassion, with curiosity, and with a desire to understand. In this space, you can observe your thoughts and feelings without attachment, without fear of what you may find. It is in this quiet observation that true healing and transformation take place. When you reflect upon your life, you begin to see the threads that weave through your experiences. You see the lessons learned, the growth achieved, and the patterns that have guided you thus far. Through self-reflection, you gain clarity on your desires, your intentions, and your true purpose. It is through this clarity that you can begin to take intentional action aligned with your soul's deepest calling. This practice of self-reflection also requires honesty. You must be willing to look at yourself with truth, even when the truths you discover are difficult to face. But in this honesty lies the power of transformation. When you are willing to confront the parts of yourself that need healing, you open the door to growth. It is through this honest self-examination that you can shed old beliefs, release past wounds, and align yourself with the person you are becoming. Self-reflection is not a one-time practice, but a lifelong journey. It is something you return to again and again as the ebb and flow of life carries you through different stages of growth and transformation. In each new phase, you will reflect upon where you've been, where you are, and where you are going. It is through this continual process of self-reflection that you remain connected to your inner wisdom, aligned with your truth, and open to the flow of abundance that is always available to you. In the quiet space of reflection, you also gain insight into the beliefs and patterns that may be blocking your path to prosperity. Often, we carry limiting beliefs about ourselves, beliefs that we are not worthy of abundance, or that success must come through struggle. These beliefs, though often unconscious, shape the way we live and the choices we make. So, allows you to bring these beliefs into the light of awareness, where they can be examined and released. Once you become aware of the beliefs that no longer serve you, you can replace them with new, empowering beliefs that align with the abundance you seek. Through the practice of self-reflection, you can transform old patterns of lack and limitation into patterns of prosperity and abundance. This process requires patience and gentleness with yourself, for change is not immediate. But with consistent self-reflection, you begin to shift your mindset and your energy toward a life of fulfillment and joy. This practice also invites you to reflect on your relationship with time. Often, we are in such a rush to reach our goals, to attain success, that we overlook the present moment. Self-reflection invites you to slow down, to be present with where you are, and to honor the journey rather than focusing solely on the destination. When you reflect on your life from a place of stillness, you come to see that every moment is part of the grand unfolding, and that prosperity is not just about what you have, but about who you are becoming. Self-reflection also calls you to examine your values and intentions. Are the goals you are pursuing aligned with your true desires, or are they shaped by the expectations of others? In the quiet space of reflection, you can discern what truly matters to you, what will bring you fulfillment, peace, and joy. As you gain clarity on your values, you can make decisions that are aligned with your soul's calling, creating a life that is rich in purpose and abundance. As you cultivate this practice of self-reflection, you begin to develop a deeper sense of self-awareness. You understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and the areas of your life that require attention and growth. This awareness allows you to make decisions with greater confidence, knowing that they are rooted in your true essence. And as you continue to reflect, you will find that prosperity begins to flow more naturally into your life. As you align with the deepest truths of who you are, in moments of reflection, you may feel the urge to ask yourself questions like, what am I truly seeking? What beliefs do I need to release in order to step into my full potential? What patterns are no longer serving me? How can I align my actions with my deepest desires? These questions, though simple, can lead you toward profound insights, and as you continue to reflect, the answers will come to you gently in the quiet of your mind and heart. Self-reflection is not about finding perfection. It is not about having all the answers or achieving some ideal state. It is about being present with yourself, accepting where you are, and acknowledging the growth that is already taking place within you. It is about giving yourself the space to explore your thoughts, your feelings, and your experiences without judgment, and allowing yourself to evolve in the process through self-reflection. You come to understand that prosperity is not a destination to be reached, but a journey to be lived. It is the ongoing process of alignment, of growth, and of becoming. And in this journey, you will find that prosperity, in all its forms, is already within you, waiting to be recognized and received. Chapter 8. Manifesting through focused intention in the quiet space of your being. Where clarity reigns and the noise of the world fades away, your desires begin to take form. Manifestation is not a distant, unattainable concept. It is the natural process by which your inner world, when aligned with purpose and intention, creates your outer reality. To manifest is not to force, but to align with the quiet, sacred rhythm of life, trusting that your desires will materialize when the conditions are right. Manifestation begins with focused intentional, deliberate, conscious choice to create. With purpose, however, intention is not a fleeting wish or a passing thought. It is the deep, unwavering belief that what you seek is already on its way to you in divine timing. When you set your intention, you are not simply asking for something to come into your life. You are affirming that it already exists and that you are ready to receive it. Think of a seed planted in the soil. The seed does not doubt its ability to grow. It does not wonder if it will bloom. It simply trusts that with the right conditions, sunlight and time, it will sprout, grow, and eventually bear fruit. So too is your manifestation process. When you plant the seed of intention, trust that it will grow in its perfect time, provided you nurture it with the right mindset and energy. The key to manifestation is to remain focused on your intention without attachment to the outcome. It is the paradox of creation. You must desire something deeply, yet be willing to release the need to control how or when it will come to you. Focused intention is not about obsessing over the details or forcing things into being. It is about creating a clear vision of what you desire, then stepping back and trusting that the universe will bring it to you in the right way. In this space of focused intention, your thoughts, emotions, and actions align with your desires. You'll no longer wait passively for the world to change. You actively participate in the process of creation. Each thought you think, each emotion you feel, and each action you take either aligns you with your intention or moves you further away from it. When you align yourself with your highest desires, the energy you put out into the world returns to you tenfold, manifesting your desires into reality. It is important to understand that manifestation is not just about what you think you want. True manifestation is about aligning with your soul's deepest desires, which may not always be what the ego desires. Your ego may seek wealth, success, or fame, but your soul seeks peace, alignment, and fulfillment. Manifestation, when rooted in focused intention, is about aligning with what serves your highest good, not just what satisfies temporary desires. It is about stepping into the fullness of who you are and trusting that the universe will bring you what you truly need. To manifest through focused intention, you must first clear the mental clutter that distracts you from your true desires. Let go of the limiting beliefs that tell you that your dreams are too big, too far away, or too unrealistic. Clear the space in your mind, heart, and energy field so that your desires can flow freely. This clarity allows you to focus with precision, channeling your energy toward the creation of your reality. One of the most powerful tools in manifestation is visualization. When you vividly imagine your desires, you send out a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. Visualization is not just about seeing your desires in your mind's eye. It is about feeling them, experiencing them as though they have already manifested. When you feel the joy, peace, or excitement that your desires bring, you align your emotional energy with the frequency of what you seek. This emotional alignment is what attracts your desires into your life. Affirmations are another tool that supports manifestation through focused intention. By repeating affirmations that are aligned with your desires, you reinforce your belief that what you seek is already on its way. Affirmations are not simply positive statements. They are declarations of truth, spoken from a place of deep knowing. When you affirm what you desire with unwavering faith, you begin to believe that it is already yours. This belief is the foundation upon which your manifestation is built. It is also crucial to take inspired action. Manifestation is not passive. It requires you to engage with the world around you. Inspired action comes when you are aligned with your desires and trust in the guidance that flows from within. It is not about forcing things to happen, but about taking steps in the direction of your dreams, knowing that the universe is supporting you at every turn. When you act from a place of alignment, your actions are imbued with the energy of manifestation, and the results will reflect that energy. Patience plays a significant role in manifestation. As you focus your intention and take inspired action, there will be moments when it seems like nothing is happening. During these moments, remember that the universe is always working behind the scenes. Just as a seed takes time to grow, your desires need time to materialize. Trust that everything is unfolding in divine timing, and know that what you seek is already on its way to you. Remember, Manifestation through focused intention is not about efforting or forcing. It is about creating the right conditions through clarity, belief, and action so that your desires can naturally come into being. Just as the moon reflects the light of the sun without effort, so too does your manifestation unfold when you align with the natural flow of the universe. As you continue to cultivate this practice, you will notice that the more focused and clear your intention, the more effortlessly your desires manifest. Trust that the universe is always supporting you, guiding you, and aligning the circumstances for your highest good. With patience, faith, and focused intention, you will begin to witness the powerful transformation of your desires into reality. Chapter 9. Embracing solitude as a tool for growth in a world that constantly urges us to connect, to socialize, and to be in motion. There is a quiet truth often overlooked. It is in solitude that true growth occurs. Solitude is not loneliness. It is not a void to be feared or avoided. Rather, it is a sacred space where you can reconnect with your deepest self, gain clarity, and nurture your inner world. It is in solitude that the seeds of prosperity are sown, and it is in the quiet moments of reflection that you find the answers you seek. Solitude is the practice of being alone, not by circumstance, but by choice. It is the deliberate act of stepping away from the noise of the world and entering the quiet, sacred space within. In solitude, you are not distracted by the opinions of others, the demands of society, or the constant pull of the external world. You are free to listen to your own voice, to hear the whispers of your soul, and to connect deeply with your inner wisdom. The world often tells us that success is measured by how busy we are, by how much we do, and by how many people we can connect with. But true success, true prosperity, is not found in the hustle and bustle of the outside world. It is found in the stillness of your own heart, in the moments when you allow yourself to simply be, without striving or seeking approval. In solitude, you create the space for growth. Just as the gardener tends to the soil, preparing it for new life, so too do you prepare your inner world in solitude. It is in these quiet moments that you can reflect on your desires, your intentions, and your goals. You can examine your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs without distraction, gaining clarity on what truly matters to you. Solitude allows you to release the noise and confusion that clouds your mind. It invites you to let go of the pressures of external expectations and focus inward. When you are alone with yourself, you are free to connect with the essence of who you are. This is where your true power lies. While society often teaches us to seek validation from others, true validation comes from within. Solitude gives you the space to reconnect with your own worth, to remember that you are enough as you are, and that your value does not depend on the approval or recognition of others. In solitude, you come to understand that you are worthy of the abundance and prosperity that the universe has to offer, simply by being yourself. The practice of solitude also allows you to cultivate inner peace. When you are constantly surrounded by noise and distractions, it becomes difficult to hear your own thoughts, let alone your soul's deepest desires. In solitude, you create the space for peace to enter. This inner peace is the foundation upon which prosperity is built. When you are at peace with yourself, you align with the natural flow of abundance, and prosperity becomes a natural outcome. In solitude, you also develop the strength to face your fears and insecurities. Without the distractions of the external world, you are forced to confront the parts of yourself that you may have been avoiding. But this is not a process of judgment or criticism. It is a process of acceptance and healing. In solitude, you can observe your thoughts and emotions without attachment, allowing them to pass through without clinging to them. This non-attachment is the key to inner freedom. It is through solitude that you can release the fears and limiting beliefs that have held you back, and step into the fullness of your power. Solitude also provides the opportunity for deep reflection. It is in these moments of stillness that you can look back on your life and gain clarity on your journey. You can see the patterns that have shaped you, the lessons you have learned, and the growth you have achieved. Reflection allows you to appreciate how far you have come, while also gaining insight into the next steps of your journey. It is in this space of reflection that you align with your soul's purpose and begin to take inspired action toward your goals. Embracing solitude does not mean isolating yourself from others forever. It simply means carving out time in your life to be with yourself, to connect with your inner wisdom, and to recharge your energy. Solitude is not a punishment. It is a gift of sacred time for self-discovery, growth, and alignment. It is in these quiet moments that you can truly hear the whispers of your soul. And it is in this space that your true desires are revealed. Solitude also teaches you to trust the process of life. When you are alone with yourself, you have no one else to rely on but you. This fosters a deep sense of trust in your own abilities and intuition. It is through solitude that you begin to realize that you already possess everything you need to create the life you desire. Trusting yourself becomes easier when you have spent time in solitude, reconnecting with your own inner knowing. In solitude, you will also find a deep sense of gratitude for the present moment, without the constant distractions and pressures of the outside world. You begin to appreciate the simple joys of life, the beauty of nature, the stillness of the night, the warmth of a quiet moment. Gratitude becomes a natural byproduct of solitude, and this gratitude opens the door for more abundance to flow into your life. As you cultivate the practice of solitude, you will notice that your connection to your own inner wisdom deepens. You begin to trust yourself more fully, knowing that you are always guided by the wisdom within. You also come to understand that true prosperity is not something that is obtained through external effort, but something that is already present within you, waiting to be recognized and embraced. The power of solitude lies in its ability to help you reconnect with your true self. In this space, you discover the peace, clarity, and wisdom that are always available to you. When you embrace solitude as a tool for growth, you begin to align with the flow of the universe, and prosperity becomes a natural outcome. Chapter 10. Trusting the process of unfolding. There is a divine timing to all things, an unseen force that guides the flow of life. In the grand scheme of the universe, everything unfolds precisely when it is meant to. The question is not whether things will come to pass, but whether you will trust the process. Trusting the process of unfolding means surrendering to the wisdom of the universe, allowing life to flow naturally without attempting to control or rush its course, just as a river flows without resistance, trusting that it will reach its destination in due time. So too must you allow the flow of your own life to unfold. The universe has a rhythm, a pattern, a divine order that you may not always understand, but it is there, guiding you toward your highest good. When you trust the process, you release the need to manipulate the circumstances around you, and you instead allow yourself to move in harmony with life's natural flow. In a world that often prizes instant results and constant action, it can be difficult to trust that everything is happening in the right time. We are conditioned to believe that success, wealth, and fulfillment must be earned through hard work, hustle, and constant striving. But true prosperity is not a product of force or effort. It is the outcome of surrender and alignment with the divine rhythm of life. When you trust the process, you let go of the need to control the timeline, and instead, you allow things to unfold at their own pace. Imagine a seed planted in the soil. It does not push itself into the ground, nor does it rush to grow. It simply waits, allowing the earth to nourish it, the sun to warm it, and the rain to hydrate it. The seed trusts the process of nature, knowing that it will grow and blossom when the time is right. You too must learn to trust the process of your life. Trust that the steps you have taken, the intentions you have set, and the actions you have made are already aligning you with your highest good. The universe is always working to bring you closer to your desires, even if you cannot see the full picture yet. Trusting the process means having faith in the unfolding of your journey. It means releasing the need to know every step in advance, and instead, trusting that each moment is leading you closer to your destination. When you trust, you stop doubting your path. You stop questioning whether you are making the right decisions. Instead, you allow yourself to take each step with confidence, knowing that you are always guided, always supported, and always in the perfect place at the perfect time. Trust also requires patience. It requires you to resist the urge to rush or force things to happen. It is the practice of surrendering to the flow of life, allowing things to happen in their own time. When you trust the process, you let go of expectations and attachments to specific outcomes. You no longer worry about when things will happen or how they will unfold. Instead, you live in the present moment, fully engaged with the process, knowing that everything is unfolding just as it should. In the moments of doubt or uncertainty, trust becomes the anchor that holds you steady. When you cannot see the path clearly, when you feel lost or unsure, trust reminds you that the universe is always working in your favor. Trust is not about knowing all the answers, but about believing that everything is happening for your highest good, even when it seems unclear. Trust helps you navigate the uncertainty with grace and patience, knowing that the answers will come when you are ready to receive them. Trusting the process of unfolding also means letting go of the need for external validation. So often, we look outside of ourselves for confirmation that we are on the right path. We seek approval, recognition, or external signs that we are moving in the right direction. But true trust comes from within. It is the quiet knowing that you are on the right path, even if others cannot see it. It is the inner certainty that your journey is uniquely yours and that you are exactly where you need to be. The process of unfolding is not always linear. Life does not always follow a clear, predictable path. There may be twists and turns, moments of challenge, or periods of waiting. But in each moment, there is a lesson. In each moment, there is growth. Trusting the process means accepting that even the difficult moments are part of your journey. They are shaping you, preparing you, and leading you to a place of greater wisdom and understanding. Every experience is a step toward your highest good, even if you cannot see it in the moment. When you trust the process, you begin to understand that everything is interconnected. Every decision you make, every person you encounter, and every opportunity that comes your way is part of the divine orchestration of your life. You are not separate from the flow of the universe. You are a part of it. And as you trust the process, you align yourself with the universal flow, allowing prosperity to naturally enter your life. Trust is the quiet confidence that what is meant for you will come to you in its perfect time. It is the understanding that you are not in control of every aspect of your journey, but that you are always guided by a higher wisdom. Trusting the process means letting go of the need to rush and, instead, embracing each moment as it comes. You are exactly where you need to be. As you move forward, remember that trust is not a one-time decision. It is a daily practice. Each moment you choose trust over doubt, faith over fear, you align yourself more deeply with the natural flow of life. With each step, you release resistance and embrace the unfolding of your journey. And as you do, you will find that everything you seek, peace, love, success, abundance, will come to you effortlessly, in perfect timing. Chapter 11. The Grace of Receiving in the Flow of Prosperity. There is a profound art that many overlook, the grace of receiving. It is one thing to desire and strive for something, but it is an entirely different thing to open yourself to receive it. Too often, we focus on the act of giving or the effort required to achieve our desires. But we forget that true abundance comes not just from action, but from the ability to receive. The grace of receiving is a sacred practice, one that invites you to open your heart, your mind, and your being to the blessings that the universe is constantly offering. Receiving, in its purest form, is not about taking, but about being open and willing to allow the flow of abundance into your life. It is the recognition that you are worthy of receiving the prosperity, love, and joy that life has to offer. Too often, we deny ourselves this grace, thinking that we are not deserving, or that receiving is a sign of weakness. But receiving is not about entitlement. It is about embracing your inherent worth and allowing the universe to bless you in ways that are aligned with your highest good. When you practice the grace of receiving, you release the belief that you must earn everything you receive, the idea that you must struggle or suffer to deserve prosperity is a false belief that keeps you trapped in a cycle of lack. In truth, abundance is your birthright. You were born into a universe that is infinitely abundant, and all that you need is already available to you. But first, you must allow yourself to receive it. Just as a flower blooms in the sunlight without effort, so too must you open yourself to receive the gifts of the universe, knowing that you are deserving simply by being who you are. Receiving requires humility, but not in the sense of self-denial. It requires the humility to recognize that you are not separate from the abundance that exists in the world. It requires the understanding that you are part of a larger flow, and as such, you are worthy of the blessings that come from this flow. When you allow yourself to receive, you acknowledge that you are in harmony with the universe, and that the universe is always working to support you. You do not need to prove your worthiness. You are already worthy simply by being in the act of receiving. There is also an invitation to release resistance. The universe is always giving, always flowing, with abundance. But if you resist receiving, if you block yourself from accepting the gifts that are offered, you are shutting the door to prosperity. Receiving requires you to let go of the fear and doubt that tell you you are not enough, that you are unworthy, or that you must work harder to earn what is yours. The grace of receiving is an act of trust, a trust that the universe knows exactly what you need and that it is already on its way to you. One of the most powerful aspects of receiving is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude opens the heart and aligns you with the frequency of abundance. When you are grateful for what you have, you invite more blessings into your life. Gratitude is not just about acknowledging what you already have, but about being open and thankful for what is coming to you. When you receive with a grateful heart, you honor the abundance that is flowing into your life, and you send a message to the universe that you are ready for more. Receiving also requires the practice of self-compassion. It asks that you stop denying yourself the blessings that are meant for you, and instead, open your heart to the possibility that you are worthy of everything life has to offer. When you struggle with receiving, you are often holding on to old beliefs of scarcity or self-doubt. You may feel that you are not good enough, or that you must give more in order to deserve. But the truth is, you are deserving of abundance just as much as anyone else. By allowing yourself to receive, you affirm your worthiness and invite the flow of prosperity into your life. The grace of receiving also means allowing yourself to receive not only material gifts, but emotional and spiritual blessings as well. It is easy to get caught up in the idea that prosperity is only about wealth or success, but true abundance encompasses all areas of life. You must be willing to receive love, support, kindness, and peace. Often, we close ourselves off to these gifts, thinking that we are not worthy of love or that we must earn the right to be at peace. But true prosperity includes all the gifts the universe has to offer, both material and intangibly, and it is your birthright to receive them all. In the quiet moments of reflection, you can begin to cultivate the grace of receiving. Start by acknowledging the gifts that are already present in your life. Be grateful for the small blessings, the warmth of the sun, the kindness of a friend, the peace of a quiet moment. As you practice gratitude for these gifts, you open yourself to receive more. You align yourself with the energy of abundance, knowing that what you give thanks for will multiply. The more you practice receiving, the more natural it becomes. You begin to recognize the abundance that is all around you. You see the opportunities, the connections, the resources that are always available to you. You no longer feel the need to chase or strive for what is already yours. Instead, you simply allow it to flow into your life with grace and ease. As you embrace the grace of receiving, you will find that your life becomes a reflection of the abundance you allow yourself to receive. You will attract more prosperity, more love, more joy, and more peace into your life. Receiving becomes not only an act of receiving from the universe, but also an act of sharing that abundance with others. The more you receive, the more you have to give, and in this flow, the universe continues to bless you, knowing that you will pass on its gifts in the end. The grace of receiving is about allowing yourself to be fully present with the abundance of life. It is about trusting that you are worthy, that you are enough, and that the universe is always providing for you. When you open yourself to receive, you align with the flow of prosperity that is always available to you, and in this alignment, you experience the fullness of life's blessings. Chapter 12. The Flow of Universal Abundance. Abundance, in its most profound form, is not a limited resource, is the natural, infinite flow of the universe, always available, always present. To align with this flow is to recognize that prosperity does not need to be earned, hoarded, or chased. It is already flowing around you in every moment, and you are an integral part of this vast, interconnected web of life. The flow of universal abundance is not something to be controlled. It is something to be embraced. The universe operates on the principle of circulation. Energy, like water, is meant to flow, and when you align yourself with this flow, everything you need, love, wealth, health, peace, flows into your life with ease. The key to experiencing this abundance is not to block the flow, but to become a conduit through which it can pass freely. When you open yourself to the flow, you become part of the universal dance, where prosperity flows naturally to and from you. Consider the rivers that flow across the earth. They do not struggle, they do not worry about their path. They simply flow, guided by the natural contours of the land. And as they flow, they nourish everything in their path. They are not concerned with where they will end up. They trust the journey, knowing that they are part of a much larger system. So too is the flow of abundance in your life. You are a part of the larger flow of the universe, and when you trust the process, you will find that everything you need is already being provided for you. However, the flow of abundance can only reach you when you allow it, just as a dam blocks the flow of water, so too can resistance block the flow of prosperity. The universe does not force its gifts upon you, it simply offers them. It is up to you to open your heart and mind to receive them, to trust that the universe is abundant and that you are worthy of all that it has to offer, is the first step in aligning with the flow. This alignment is not something that can be forced. It comes through stillness, reflection, and trust. More you cultivate inner peace and clarity, the more you will naturally align with the flow of universal abundance. When you stop striving and allow the universe to guide you, you will find that everything you need flows into your life with ease. The more you trust in this flow, the more it will support you. One of the most important aspects of aligning with the flow of abundance is releasing the fear of scarcity. The belief that there is not enough to go around is one of the greatest blockages to prosperity. When you operate from a mindset of scarcity, you hold on to everything you have, fearing that if you let go, you will lose it. But the flow of universal abundance operates on the opposite principle, that the more you allow things to flow through you, the more they will return to you. When you share your abundance, whether through acts of kindness, generosity, or love, you open the door for even more abundance to flow into your life. Just as the river nourishes everything in its path, so too does the flow of abundance nourish you when you allow it to move freely. The more you give, the more you receive, for in the flow of life, nothing is ever truly lost. This flow of abundance also requires that you remain open to receiving. Sometimes we block the flow by holding on to old beliefs or limiting patterns. We may feel unworthy of abundance or believe that we must struggle to receive what we desire. But the flow of universal abundance is not contingent upon your struggle or your worthiness. It is unconditional, and it is available to all who are willing to receive it. When you release the belief that you must earn or fight for prosperity, you open yourself to the free-flowing abundance that is already yours. The key to experiencing the full flow of abundance is surrender. This is not surrender in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of letting go of control. It is trusting that the universe knows the perfect timing and the perfect path for your desires. When you surrender to the flow, you stop trying to dictate every step of your journey, and instead you trust that everything is unfolding as it should. You allow yourself to be guided, knowing that the universe will always bring you exactly what you need at the right moment, aligning with the flow of universal abundance is also about being present in the moment. The more you are in the present, the more you can see the abundance that is already around you. When you are constantly focused on the future or the past, you miss the opportunities that are right in front of you. Abundance is not something that will come someday in the future. It is available to you in every moment. By being present, you can tap into the flow of the universe, receiving its blessings as they come. As you practice the art of aligning with the flow, you will begin to notice that life becomes easier. You no longer need to push or force things to happen. You can relax into the rhythm of the universe, trusting that all is being provided for you. Opportunities will appear effortlessly, and you will find that things fall into place without struggle or strain. This is the power of alignment. When you are in harmony with the flow, prosperity comes to you naturally. To truly align with the flow of universal abundance, you must also release any attachment to the outcome. The universe may bring you what you desire in ways you did not expect, or at a time you did not plan for. When you let go of the need to control how things unfold, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities that the universe has to offer. Trust that whatever comes your way is part of the divine flow, and that it is always leading you toward greater fulfillment and prosperity. In the end, the flow of universal abundance is about trust. It is about trusting that the universe is always supporting you, always providing for you, and always guiding you toward your highest good. When you align with this flow, you move with grace and ease through life, knowing that everything you need is already on its way to you. The more you trust in the flow, the more you will find that your desires are effortlessly fulfilled. So, dear one, open yourself to the flow of abundance. Trust that the universe is always providing for you, and that you are always in the right place at the right time. Let go of the need to control, and allow the flow of life to carry you toward your greatest desires. The universe is abundant, and so are you. Embrace the flow and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined. Conclusion: a life of focused prosperity. As you step forward from these words, you do not leave them behind. Rather, you carry them with you as a part of your essence. These teachings of stillness, patience, discipline, and trust, not fleeting concepts, but practices that you can integrate into the fabric of your life. The journey of focused prosperity is not a distant dream, but a living, breathing reality that begins with the smallest shifts in thought, intention, and action. In the moments of quiet reflection, you have discovered that true prosperity is not a destination but a journey. It is the steady unfolding of your life, a dance with the universe that requires you to be present, to trust, and to surrender to the natural flow of abundance. Prosperity, in its highest form, is not something to be chased or attained. It is something to be received, cultivated, and allowed to manifest in perfect timing. This is the art of alignment, aligning yourself with the universal rhythm, where your desires are naturally fulfilled as you tap into the deep well of abundance that already exists within you. It is a practice of patience and trust, of knowing that the seeds you plant today will bloom in their own time, nourished by the wisdom of the universe. When you surrender to the divine timing of your life, you allow everything you seek to come to you with grace, ease, and harmony. It is in the stillness that you find clarity. In the quiet moments of reflection, you see the patterns of your desires and recognize the power of your intentions. You realize that manifestation is not a matter of force, but of alignment with your true self. As you cultivate a deep connection with your soul's desires, you trust that the universe will bring the right circumstances, people, and opportunities into your life at the perfect moment. The more you practice stillness, patience, and focus, the more effortlessly prosperity flows to you. In embracing solitude, you have learned to honor your inner wisdom, to listen deeply to the voice of your soul, and to nurture your growth from within. It is through solitude that you reconnect with your true essence and allow the quiet space for your desires to take root. The practice of solitude is not one of isolation, but of sacred self-connection, where you become attuned to the wisdom of the universe that flows through you, through trust and surrender. You have released the need for control, knowing that the universe is always working in your favor. The flow of abundance is not something you need to force, but something you must allow. By aligning with the natural rhythms of life, you have opened the door to a future filled with infinite possibilities. Everything you need is already within you, and as you trust the process of unfolding, you move with grace and ease toward your highest good. As you step into the future, remember that prosperity is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing state of being. It is a reflection of your inner alignment, of your ability to trust, receive, and act with intention. Every moment is an opportunity to align with the flow of abundance, to live in harmony with your soul's deepest desires, and to manifest the life you are always meant to live. The journey of focused prosperity is a sacred dance with the universe. You do not need to chase after what you desire. Simply trust in the flow, allow it to come to you, and take inspired action when the time is right. In this sacred dance, you will find that everything you need is already on its way to you. Prosperity, peace, and abundance are not things to be attained. They are ways of being, ways of aligning with the divine rhythm of life. And as you continue this journey, you will see that the universe is always supporting you, always guiding you, and always bringing you exactly what you need in perfect timing. Remember, dear one, you are part of the vast, abundant universe. Your desires are not separate from the flow of life. They are a reflection of it. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust the universe. And as you align with the flow of universal abundance, you will find that the life you seek is already yours.